Hi, everyone. This is Justin with Service and Sacrifice. And today I'm going to be talking about 3 things I wish someone told me before I left the military. So, if I could sit down with my younger self 6 months before getting out, here is what I would say. And these are also things I've told to present day veterans. No one is coming to save you or your transition. I know that sounds dramatic, but like the second you tell leadership that you're not re-enlisting, they don't care. They don't care. Maybe you have a really good chain of command and they gave you skill bridge and they helped you. But like the second you sign out, that's it. So own the process. Get your finances right. Google what schools are in your area, what zip code has the highest BH. Start thinking of all the injuries you want to claim. Don't just get out and be like, guess I'll just do all this stuff now. Ask questions. Ask people for help. Hey, can you review my resume? Hey, can we do a mock interview? What certification should I get? What fields are paying the highest? Like what degrees are most valuable? It's okay to ask civilians who are out. I can't tell you how many veterans I speak to who are like, "Yeah, I'll just figure it out," and it's probably going to work. You'll probably be fine. But why would you not get assistance from someone who's already doing this? Seek mentors. I used to think it was super cheesy and not needed. And then a couple years ago, I signed up for a mentorship program and I'm also a mentor to people. And it's great. Being a mentor, I'm learning leadership skills. I'm learning how to answer people's questions as efficiently as possible. I'm thinking back from my own experiences with bosses. How do I want these individuals to think of things to handle their own leadership? And so I assist them that way. And then it's also great to get advice from other people who have been in your career for 5, 10, or 15 more years than you. Why would you not take advantage of that stuff? Lastly, be proactive. Nobody's going to be making you do anything anymore. If you want something, you have to start working at it, even if it's only 10 minutes a day. For years, I was like, there's no point in doing X, Y, and Z because I can't do it as much as I want to. One of the biggest things I hear about investing, I can only do $50 a paycheck. $100 a month isn't going to make a dent. And you're right. $100 a month isn't much, but with dividends and growth building up, stocks building up over time, before you know it, that 100 you're going to be putting in 150, you're going to be putting in 200. I guarantee when you're putting in 500 a month in the future, you're going to be thankful that you started with that 100 because you probably have 15, 20,000 bucks sitting in that account. So just start doing things. Your identity is bigger than your military service. A lot of veterans get out. That's all they hang on to. They've been out for 10 years and all they can think about is the 3 years in their contract. They've been out 20 years and they still can't move on. The best thing you can do is take all your experiences from your contract and put it in a little file cabinet in your mind. It's just one period of your life, just like your college degree. You're not 50 years old and you're like, man, when I was 19, I was getting my bachelor's degree. Cool. So why are you doing the same for the military? I know it's 2 completely different experiences, but it's just a chapter in your life. There's no need to make it your whole identity. And another point you can tell yourself is that it doesn't have to be the last great chapter. Best thing you can do for your military experience is use it while you're in, obviously, and then use it to excel your civilian career and your life when you get out too. So use it as a stepping stone by using your benefits appropriately, by using your network and connections when you get in. That NCO you had, maybe in 10 years they might hire you for a GS-14 position and you'll be making bank from it, all because you networked and stayed in touch with those people. Additionally, success is not a straight line. A lot of people get out, and I see it on LinkedIn all the time. I was super high up for 10, 15, 20 years in the military, and now I have to go be entry level or middle management at this other company. That's okay. You're not going to transition out being at the peak of your 20-year career in the military and expect to be at the same place that, an accountant has been in leadership for 20 years. That wouldn't make any sense, right? You don't have 20 years of accounting experience. Same exact concept as when you join the military. For the 35-year-olds and 40-year-olds that have 15, 20 years of civilian professional experience, it doesn't translate over into the military. So what I mean by that is if you've been a mechanic for 15 years as a civilian, and you join, you're still going to be a private. You don't come in and you're not like, oh, I'm an E6 mechanic because I've been working on cars for 20 years. They don't care. Now, what you can do is, again, flip that and use vice versa. Use that to excel your career, either in the military or getting out. Use the experience and the skills you learn from one area and turn those into positives in the other area. You may be switching careers, and there's nothing wrong with starting over. For example, I spent 4 years in finance, and then I switched into being a product manager for insurance, completely different industries. And a lot of people don't want to change careers because they think it's starting over or it's a lateral move or whatever. And yeah, it might be stagnant for a year or two, but use the skills, just like I said, that you had from your previous career to stand out here. And for example, if you were an accountant for 10 years and you're like, I want to be, I don't know, a plumber, completely different career change. You're probably going to think, oh man, I really like plumbing, but I have all this accounting experience that isn't going to help at all. Who knows? Maybe you'll become a plumber and the company you're working for has terrible financial management. And you're like, hey, person who owns this company, I can help you with all your accounting. And then you could do dual roles maybe, or you get some kind of pay increase or your standout. Anything you learn by doing something else, you can turn it to benefit what you're currently doing. It's not like all those skills get immediately deleted. It's okay to question yourself. Questioning your actions is a good thing. I would encourage you to have peers and mentors question your actions too. Guarantee that someone will give you one piece of advice that will assist you in what you're doing. Even if you say, all these 3 things that I'm about to do will all benefit me, run it by someone else. And maybe they'll say, hey, for topic number 1, maybe you should do it this way. Maybe you haven't considered doing it, in addition to doing this. And that one thing might blow your mind, right? Like, there are people who have done what you're already doing or have been doing what you're doing for 5 times longer than you. And they've already gone through the mistakes that you've made, and they've corrected themselves, and then they've made mistakes from that correction and recorrected themselves. So just take their advice. Lastly, transitioning out is not meant to replace your military life. It's about building a life that's just as meaningful, but in a different way. The better you can prepare to get out, the faster you can hit the ground running. I see so many veterans on social media, they get out and the only thing they have solidified, if even this one thing, is where they're going to live. Oh, I'll move back in with my family. There's nothing wrong with doing that. I would recommend that to save money. But if I could go back in time, I would prepare as much as possible. Cut all the expenses you can. Already know where you're going to school, already know what field you're going to go into, already know what you're going to file, where's the closest VA hospital to where I'm going to be living for medical, what certifications will complement the degree that I want to get in a few years. Just prepare, build out a roadmap. And then once that roadmap is built out, look at it a dozen times. Where can I streamline it? What can I add to it? What can I cut out? Just keep reviewing it over and over and over again. And instead of getting on your feet, getting a career, getting good income in 3 to 5 years, maybe you could shrink that down to 1.5 to 2.5 years. Just prepare as much as possible.